I paid to lose a race I didn't even know I was running. I want you to really just think about that for a second. That is a raw, real quote straight from our sources from a local mover. He paid good money to a lead generation app, immediately called the customer, only to find out he was literally the fifth guy to call in the last hour. He lost a race he didn't even know he had entered. Now, if you run a local service business, you know exactly what that visceral frustration feels like.
Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a massive shift happening right now. We're looking at exactly how local contractors, the haulers, landscapers, cleaners, handymen, are finally bypassing those predatory lead platforms and taking back control of their businesses. And they're doing it using a platform called ServSprint. We're talking about shifting away from a model that just bleeds your margin dry to one that actually builds your wealth. All right, so here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the lead generation trap. Second, the dead lead math. Third, bypassing the middleman. Fourth, the flat subscription model. And finally, compounding repeat customers.
Let's kick things off with part one, the lead generation trap. Just to give you an idea of the sheer scale of this mess, we just have to look at the numbers. $7.2 million. To ground all these emotional war stories in some hard facts, that massive number represents a 2023 FTC fine slapped on Angie's lead affiliate, HomeAdvisor. And what was it for? Deceptive lead practices. The platform was literally selling leads to contractors that were effectively useless, shared way too many times, or just outright ghosts. So this isn't just a feeling operators have, it's a documented, penalized business model. Which brings me to a very concrete question for any service pro out there. Be honest, what is the absolute most you've ever paid for a single lead that completely ghosted you? Was it $30, 50, 100? Our sources are just full of stories of guys driving 40 minutes across the valley, burning up gas, and completely losing their Saturday afternoon for a quote-unquote lead where no one was even home. Unless Casper the Friendly Ghost needs his gutters cleaned, chasing phantom customers is just a massive drain on your morale and your profit. Which brings us right to section 2, the dead lead math. Let's break down the shared lead trap because the math here is just brutal. You're shelling out anywhere from $30 to $100 for a lead, right? But guess what? The app turns around and sells that exact same lead to 5, maybe 12 other pros at the exact same time. And you are charged even if the customer ghosted you or if they were just window shopping for prices. And on the off chance you actually win the job, the platform often takes a cut anyway or locks your refunds up in these useless app credits. Basically, you're paying a huge premium for maybe a 20% shot at winning the job. It's this severe operational equity dilution for your business. Basically, you are funding their business with your hard labor. Okay, moving on to section 3, bypassing the middleman. This is where things get really interesting because this new disruption, it wasn't dreamt up in some fancy Silicon Valley boardroom. It was built right in Utah County by an actual logistics operator who lived this exact pain. It's called ServSprint, and think of it as a live GPS radar map. It completely removes that whole lead broker middleman. So instead of a database where leads are just sold and resold over and over, it connects local operators directly with nearby customers in real time. And the workflow is incredibly simple and, more importantly, transparent. Step 1, a customer opens the map. Step 2, they instantly see available pros nearby, right then and there. And step 3, they reach out to you directly. Boom. There's no messy bidding pileup. There's no automated, stressful race against 4 other trucks. It is just a direct, one-to-one connection. And ServSprint locks this down with what we call a direct tech advantage. When that customer reaches out, you're getting instant Twilio SMS lead alerts pinged right to your phone. Because let's face it, if you're a plumber or a hauler literally in the middle of a job, a missed notification is lost revenue. These instant alerts ensure you absolutely never miss a request. It turns what would normally be missed leads into closed jobs through seamless, direct communication. You're actually protecting the revenue you've earned. Let's look at section 4, the flat subscription model. Now, check out this side-by-side contrast because this is absolutely crucial. It really highlights the difference between renting customers and actually owning your business. With the old lead apps, you're paying per lead, that lead is sold to 5 other pros, and the platform still takes a cut. But with ServSprint, you pay one flat monthly price, period. You have direct contact with the customer, and you keep 100% of the job. You are finally no longer being mathematically penalized just for getting more inquiries. When you shift to paying a flat fee subscription, a fundamental change happens in your business. Suddenly, you only have one boss, your customer. You aren't serving the crazy metric-driven demands of some algorithm. You aren't constantly dodging hidden fees. You aren't trying to please the platform. You just go out and do good work for the person in your community who hired you. I mean, that is exactly how a local business is supposed to function, right?
And that perfectly sets up our final part, Section 5, compounding repeat customers.
Think about it like this. As an operator, your factory already exists. You've already got the van, you pay for the insurance, you have the hard-earned skills, the tools. The really hard part is already built. You simply need a distribution channel that doesn't bleed your margins dry before you even start the engine. SurfSprint is really just that distribution layer, connecting your existing awesome skills directly to the local demand.
And this right here is the ultimate turning point. It's the lead app reset versus the compounding vehicle. See, on a lead app, every single month you are starting at zero. Every customer is a cold lead you have to buy, and you're fighting on price against complete strangers. It is exhausting. But a direct model? That's a compounding vehicle. A customer finds you on the map, you do a fantastic job, and now they have your direct number. Next time something breaks, they call you directly. They refer their neighbors directly to you. You are building repeat, long-term relationships. And that is the actual tangible asset in a service business.
So, I want to leave you with this one provocative question. Are you building your own business, or are you just funding theirs? Because every single time you pay an app for a lead that gets shared 5 different ways, you are giving away the operational equity of your hard work. By bypassing the middleman and embracing a flat-rate direct contact model, you finally get to build your own compounding vehicle. You keep the margin, you keep the relationship, and you keep the business. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this gives you a completely new perspective on how local service operators can finally take back their trade.